Hello, hello, and welcome, my Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your Soulmate read for May, June 2020. I'm your reader, Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short, president of Joining the Circle Productions, professional witch, professional intuitive, and Venus in Libra. Yay! That Virgo reading I just did was a little too spot on for me personally, being the Virgo sun, but that was yesterday. Took a bath. I meditated. I slept. I had some coffee. I just had a private reading over the phone, so I'm ready and rested and raring to go. If you are new to my channel, though, please do consider liking this video, subscribing to my channel, hitting the notification bell, because I am putting out content every day, even on my days off. I have things edited, ready to go from my old Vimeo account, taking some of the prayers and meditations, putting them out there on YouTube for you all to get us all through this challenging time on planet Earth, and that's all I'm going to say about it, because I'm a YouTube partner. I'm not allowed to talk about it, and I'm okay with that. And by all means, feel free to comment in the comment section. Let me know what you're feeling about all of this, or should I say air sign thinking about all of this. Shall we? Hi, Mari. We have this Facebook group, the Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short Facebook group. Made a lot of friends along the way from the people who watch my vids. So if you're interested, there's a link for that in the description box below. But shall we get down to it? This is a general read. Please take what resonates, leave what does not. Check your other signs. Trying to keep these between 30 and 40 minutes because upload times have been ridiculous with everybody on the internet. So just to keep my Virgo mind from exploding on the daily and accepting what is and going with the flow and all of that, trying to keep these relatively short. 13 cards only to get you enough information about what's going on in your satisfying soulmate contracts. Speaking of satisfying soulmate contracts, a soul contract is a pre-incarnational agreement made between two souls to learn and heal. There's a difference between twin flame and soulmate. There are some links in the description box below for videos, two of which are chats that I did here on YouTube. One is a video I did last year clarifying the difference, and one is from a brilliant spiritual teacher and Hay House author by the name of Matt Kahn. He's the number 4 of the 4. We're also using his healing mantra deck as the last card down in this reading. But essentially, a soulmate contract read is looking at a contract between two souls that help each other heal. Of course, you have more than one soulmate in a life, and they're not all romantic sexual. My mother and I are a soulmate contract. I love her dearly. We help each other heal. But these readings are about specifically the sexual, intimate, romantic, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise soulmate contracts that really everybody's hungry for, and particularly in a time of lockdown, the hunger and the thirst are real, right? So this is just going to get you some clues, some tips, some hints about, you know, the soulmate contracts in general, the one that you are either in, getting ready for, or what have you, how you can help each other heal, whether you are together or apart, whether you have met each other or not, that to kind of let you know that if you want it and it's in your heart, you're going to get it, but you're helping each other heal because of a quantum entanglement. That's why when you meet and you start comparing personal histories, you're like, wow, you went through that too? Oh, and at the same time I did. Duh, it's a quantum entanglement. All part of the divine plan. So this is just getting you some info to maybe ease some of the pressure. Let's hope, right? That being said, the contract is divine feminine on this side, divine masculine on this side. It's not about bodily gender. Don't drag me for that because I say it every single reading, right? I consider myself a divine feminine. Get over it. Look at me. I'm a gay purple-haired witch from Long Island. Yeah, I'm divine feminine predominantly. But with the right guy, I'm top daddy. Daddy top. Just how it works, right? Genres. So focus on your breath. I'll do the same. You'll be able to feel what resonates, what doesn't. I'll be able to bring through the clarity, guidance, and grace that I've been doing my whole life, getting better and better each day, and now in service to you, my Libra family. My scales. Ready? I'm going to start with the Caroline Mace archetype deck. All the other decks I will mention as I go through. They're all in the description bottom at the box below. Let's just breathe. You can tell I just had a client, a very good client from out east on Long Island, so it was a very good reading. Here we go. My collective pantheon of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Please, 2 cards. One for the divine feminine, one for the divine masculine in this Libra collective, sun, moon, rising, Venus sign. Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, romantic, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract for May, June 2020, or timeless, please. One for the divine feminine, please, an archetype, and one for the divine masculine, please. Ooh, that one right there. Ooh, piece of candy. Let's see who we got. Before I flip these, keep in mind, these cards can be a little triggering because they deal with the shadow and the light archetype. Archetypes are neutral. The shadow is supposed to be a little triggery. It's the stuff you don't want to look at, which is usually what triggers are. The stuff you don't want to look at, right? Or the stuff, even if you know about, you don't want anybody else to know about. But hence the soulmate contract. This is the stuff you're helping each other heal, whether you know each other or not. Well, talk about a hyphenated couple. We've got the divine feminine monk nun, which I am going to say monk nun, not just nun, because this could be a male, right? It's not about bodily gender. And the divine masculine Midas miser. Very, very interesting. The monk nun is the divine family, and I think the Midas miser might be either the action family or the wild card. Maybe even the creative. I don't think Carolyn Mace made that specific for them, though I might be wrong. Yeah. Memory, as you get older, doesn't always light the corners of my mind. So let me read you the shadow and the light attributes here. The shadow attribute of the monk nun for the divine feminine, a divine family archetype for sure. Negative judgment of the physical world and excess piety. So you don't actually have to be behind cloistered walls. But I would say if you're the divine feminine here, more than say, feel that your devotion to the divine is pretty strong, right? Like your spiritual path, whatever. And therefore you might have a little bit of the spiritual ego in terms of people who don't eat kale, right? So be careful of that. The ego just then uses spirituality to distance itself from other people, making it better or worse than other people. It's a trap, trust me. I've seen the mighty fall with that kind of stuff. All different areas of spirituality and religion too, going back decades. The light attribute, selfless devotion and single-minded dedication to spirit. So I'm sure in a soulmate contract, just as devoted as possible. If you are the divine feminine monk nun here, probably something you've been wanting for a very long time, but not at the expense, most likely, of your spiritual path, your spirituality, your relationship to the divine, though your devotion to a lover, then really they get the best of that from you because all of that love of the divine has sort of purified you. It's not an easy path, I get it, I'm walking it too. I've definitely had some past life monk nun lives, both Eastern and Western. But it's hard, it is hard, and that we get to do in this life, you know, we get to have sex. We get to have money. We're not living behind cloistered walls, or as Carolyn Mace said it, I think back in the 90s, we are mystics without monasteries this time around. It was easier in a monastery, though it was also horrible in monasteries. All those peeling potatoes and scrubbing floors. Oh, thank God for DoorDash. For the divine masculine, we've got the Midas miser archetype. Wow. The shadow attribute, hoarding money and emotions. Divine masculine, never hoarding emotions. Obsessive fear of losing your wealth, and that wealth can be more than financial. Hoarders, essentially, have that miser. Mine, mine, mine. The Midas, however, the Midas touch, not just the muffler, maybe that's a New York thing. The light attribute, entrepreneurial or creative ability to turn anything to gold, delight in sharing life's riches. So do you get it? It's hoarding versus generosity. And so if you're dealing with the shadow, the soulmate contract, you're going to help each other heal. Satisfying, symbiotic, soulmate contract, whether you know each other or not. And if you do know each other and you're not together because of current conditions on planet Earth, or even if you are in the same place, this is something that the ongoing relationship is helping you heal. Now, we're doing something a little bit different this time. We're doing what's called a simple timeline, past, present, future. We're using the Daughters of the Moon for the Divine Feminine, using the Mythic Tarot for the Divine Masculine. Let's get up in this gig. Breathe. My goddesses, Aphrodite in particular, please, I feel you. 3 cards, a simple timeline for this Divine Feminine monk nun archetype in this Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, romantic, soulmate contract, May, June 2020 are timeless, please. What she got? Where has she been? Where is she? Pardon the pronouns. I need that to stay sane for this. Where is she now in this contract, and where is she headed in this contract? Where she be? Ooh, we got the Empress in the past. So this is someone who may be a mother in some way, shape, or form. And not that her motherhood years are behind her necessarily, but we're not talking a maiden. We're not talking an immature divine feminine energy. And by the way, immature, I don't mean that in a negative way. A maiden is immature in the sense that has not grown fully, right? Like an acorn is an immature oak tree. Right? It doesn't mean it's bad. It's got to be at that stage. But we are looking at fertility here. Probably married before, or possibly married. Well, maybe married to somebody else, not this divine masculine. And remember, married means joined, right? So that doesn't necessarily mean legally documented, ring on the finger, I do, marriage. But definitely a maturity there. In the past, in terms of motherhood, in terms of the Empress, in terms of fertility and wholeness that can create for herself. Where is she now? The Ace of Blades, the Sibyl. Hold your water, Sibyl, even though it's an air sign. We are looking at new thought coming in, right? What is the Sibyl? The Oracle of Delphi. See that green stuff in the air next to her, match her dress? That is ethylene gas. Yeah. So the Oracle of Delphi was huffing gas out of a rock crack in the wall, having visions, and someone else had to write down, and the third person translated the visions. Talk about a game of prophetic telephone. But definitely new ideas coming through, whether they are through your own intimate spiritual channel with the monk nun there, wouldn't shock me, or maybe just new information coming in, a new way of looking at things, a seed, an ace, through which you will progress through the suit of air, the suit of blades. And where she's headed is the Coyote. Now, I just got this card in that Virgo reading that I did yesterday, and in the same position, and I have Venus rising, and I'm monk nun. This better not be the same thing again. I don't know if I can handle it 2 days in a row. But let's just keep going. Oh my God, Midas, oh man, it better not be. It just better not be. I'm just going to pretend it's not. Repress for success, at least until this reading is over. The Coyote is the trickster. Now, once I got this yesterday, I really did. I mean, I knew what coyote medicine is. I mean, I've been studying shamanic stuff and totem animals and spiritual, and there's a difference between your totem animal and spirit animals. Totem animals are lifelong. Spirit animals come and go, right? So the lion is my totem animal. But Patsy and Adina are my spirit animals, no question, right? So the coyote is the trickster, but often the divine teaching us something through concealment and deception. Now, whether we are the deceiver, someone else's, or because it's major arcana, it might be that a deception is revealed, that we've been believing something that wasn't exactly true, something that was great that wasn't true, or something that was horrible that wasn't true. Either way, the only way that we could be learned is to be, and I love this term, hoodwinked, which has a very interesting history, but I'm not going into it in this video, or probably ever but look into the history of where that word hoodwinked comes from, although that movie with Red Riding Hood was wonderful. I only saw the first one. I don't know if there's a second one. I think there is. Very interesting here, because we've got the monk nun, a divine family archetype with two major arcana cards at the past and the future, and the fulcrum in between, the center of the teeter-totter, the seesaw, being the Ace of Blades. So I have a feeling that something is going to be revealed for sure, a trick that was being played. It might be a trick you played on yourself, or what I'm really feeling here with that monk nun thing is that some clarity is coming through and you're going to see a deception for what it was. And I just have a feeling it's going to work out for your better. Well, it always works out for your betterment. Everything is here to help you on a soul level. The ego might hate it, but a trick has been played. And I don't feel like a trick is going to be played. I feel like it's been going on, written into the divine plan. They're giving me like a timing device that you had to believe this thing that wasn't completely true. I don't feel like it was horribly true or untrue, horribly a lie, total deception, but it was something that you needed an eau de toilette version before you could handle the cologne version. But the cologne version's a coming. Let's look what's going on for him. Come on, my gods. Lord Eros, please. Lord Eros, Lord Eros, please. Breathe. Thank God this is the last planet, the last signing of a planet until the Pisces moon. Please, my gods. 3 cards, simple timeline, past, present, future for this divine masculine Midas miser archetype. Please, oh please, oh please, oh please. What's going on with him in this Libra collective sun, moon, rising, Venus sign? Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, romantic, sexual, satisfying, soulmate, contract, please. What we got for him in the past? What have we got for him? Where is he now in this contract? And where is he headed in the future in this contract? Where he been? The 5 of Cups. Something revealed, interestingly enough, that creates emotional upset. This is Cupid and Eros. Eros not revealing his face to his wife of all people, marries the girl, Psyche, which is Greek for the soul. Her sisters come to visit and say, well, how do you know it's a god? It could be anybody. So while he is sleeping, she lights a lamp and sees that it is Eros, the god of love, incredibly beautiful, just golden, gorgeous. But a drop of oil drops on his skin. He wakes up, says, how could you betray me? And takes off. So she called him out, essentially is what happened, and he ran. Emotional upset, right? We've got 4 cups spilled. I don't know if you can see on the bottom, 4 cups spilled, 1 cup standing. Where is he now? The 10 of Cups. So there has been some emotional reparations here, at least within himself. Or maybe he is in a happy, healthy relationship, as the 10 of Cups would indicate. But then that would indicate that these two are together. And although that may be the case, I'm going to go more with that Midas aspect of the archetype here, that his cups are overflowing, that there is an emotional healing here, and it may be that his soul is evolving. But moving towards the 8 of Swords, which is the trap, right? Which is that mental overthinking bound in place. So though things may appear to be happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise, with that 8 of Swords coming, I feel like that either this monk nun is with somebody single, and this Midas, I feel like this Midas miser might be in a relationship, got called out, is doing the best that he can, and hopefully is surviving happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. But that there's a trap here. The 8 of Swords, I tend to reflex back to the Rider-Waite deck, because it's what I learned when I was 12 years old, right? Blindfolded and bound. Maybe not seeing things clearly, between a rock and a hard place, between, wow, check them out, between the Gorgons and Apollo. I talk about between our turn you into a rock and a hot place. That 8 of Swords there kind of trapped. Kind of trapped. And that thing about the Midas miser thing may be withholding truth even from themselves. I just wonder how this Ten of Cups manifests within there now. Like maybe things okay right now, but I don't feel like it's going to last long. I just don't feel like these two are together. I really don't. And if they are together, it's not lasting long. Particularly with this trickster and this trap. Tricky. I feel like if they are in separate relationships, they're not lasting long. By the way, Venus is retrograde. Libra is ruled by Venus. So there are a lot of breakups going on right now, and during this time of sheltering, I don't want to use that word, sequestering in place, relationships, the expiration dates, if past due, are getting really rancid, and a lot of them are coming past due. Let's keep going. We've got three more cards, but the next two, the Whispers of Love Oracle, will give some clarity here. The voices of the higher self, please breathe. Here we go. The higher selves of all involved, please. 2 cards for this divine family monk non-divine feminine archetype and this divine masculine Midas miser archetype in this Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, romantic, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract, May, June 2020 are timeless. One for her, please. And one for him, please. Really? All right. Well, we'll see when we get there. They just told me what that Ten of Cups is, but I want to see what the card says before I verbalize it. What she got? New love. Embrace this new opportunity of love that is here. This may pertain to work opportunities or spiritual growth, and chances are for this divine feminine, that is what this Ace of Blades is about. A new insight, a new love, a new perspective, a new vision, a new prophecy, a new understanding intellectually that accelerates her into a new phase of spiritual growth. What's he got? You are limitless. Recognize this truth. You can do anything you choose to do. Unicorn, horn, and all. See, what they said to me is that that this Midas miser has come to an emotional awakening in terms of that Ten of Cups and is beginning to realize the choices that he has made. And remember, this can be male, female, male, female, however that plays out, but is sort of getting the, yeah, I have no one to blame but myself, but I also have no one to praise for myself but myself. I am limitless. I can do whatever I want, and then has to look at the situation, is going to look at the situation where they have thought themselves, painted themselves mentally into a corner. Between, literally, in this card, the Gorgons, Medusa and her sisters, though they weren't technically related, and Apollo. Right? Really between fear and truth. Really interesting here. Are you going to stay with your fear and stay bound, or are you going to face the light of the truth of the god Apollo? Apollo does not like deception. He is a bringer of plagues, though, just saying. Who pissed off Apollo? Not me. Not me. I love him. Where is he? Isn't that right, darling? He's so cute. He's right there. I'm not an idolater. They're like pin codes. Last card down. This should be interesting. What is the healing mantra? My Ascended Masters. One card in clarity. It doesn't matter who it is that's watching this. Work this mantra. You will help each other heal. Not just yourself, but each other. And for a mantra, they need repeating. It's like planting a seed and watering it and tending it over a period of time. For the subconscious mind to first accept the mantra, then for the vibration of it to settle in, and then for the emotions to kick in with it so that it starts manifesting in your life. It's not a control thing. It's about healing, right? So let's do this. Breathe. My Ascended Masters, please, one card. In clarity, my ascended masters of soulmate contracts, please. What is the perfect healing mantra for this divine feminine monk nun and this divine masculine Midas miser archetype in this Libra collective? Sun, moon, rising, Venus sign. Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, romantic, sexual, soulmate, satisfying contract for May, June 2020 or timeless, please. What is their healing mantra? Rewriting the subconscious. The more I embrace feeling good, the less often I will feel bad. Rewriting the subconscious. The more often I feel good, the less often I will feel bad. So it's not about bypassing, it's not about sublimating, it's not about suppressing, but it's about feeling good. And that would make sense for the Ten of Cups here for this divine masculine. If he can embrace this, he's going to have a much easier time extricating himself from that trap. And with that One of Blades here, with this Coyote woman, I have a feeling that the hard time she went through, remember, she's coming from this, I'll save it for the overview, I won't forget that, rewriting the subconscious. The more I embrace feeling good, the less often I will feel bad. When the subconscious is rewritten, you are able to feel good on a regular basis regardless of the way life unfolds. Kind of feeling that for both of them. In rewriting the subconscious, you reverse the gravitational pull of conditioning to become more familiar with the virtues of goodness. So feeling good, not just in terms of feeling pleasurable, but feeling good. Does that make sense? Feeling goodness. As goodness becomes more known, the opposite vibration of negativity can become a less frequent visitor in your reality. This mantra is ideal for relieving guilt, both sides on that one, releasing shame, perhaps both sides on that one, and finding joy in new beginnings, which she's at a 1 now, I see. He's at a 10, at least in the present moment now. So she's at the beginning of a cycle of air. He's at the end of a cycle of water. So should be interesting. Let's pop up the larger picture and see what else presents itself, shall we? Magic clap, my Libras. Because we've got the divine feminine with the monk nun archetype in the shadow, negative judgment of the physical world, excess piety, the light attributes, selfless devotion, and single-minded dedication to spirit. With the Empress card in her past, definitely speaks of her own emotional, spiritual maturity, which would make sense for a monk nun in terms of a divine feminine. With the Ace of Blades, the One of Blades, the Sibyl, definitely getting new perspective, new insight, maybe even premonition, the very Phoebe Halliwell, right? But definitely just that seed, that thought of it, getting images. But then the Coyote woman, I think as a result of that Ace of Blades, things becoming clearer. Coyote woman is not a negative card. Well, negative or positive is a human judgment. And we're talking major arcana in particular. It's about a trick that was played for the well-being of all, for the benefit of all, that there's no other way the lesson could have been taught, or it would have been taught that way from the soul's point of view. So the soul is going to reveal something. Something will be revealed to the soul where a higher perspective will be shown. But keep in mind, the coyote, the trickster, often reveals some sort of self-sabotage, how you were shooting yourself in the foot, as it were, hence Wile E. Coyote. And what is the voice of the higher self here? New love. Embrace this new opportunity of love that is here. This may pertain to work opportunities or spiritual growth. I also feel like there's a new opportunity for these two to be together if they have been together and it didn't work out, or if they've never met. It feels like they will be coming into each other's energy space relatively soon. I mean, May, June 2020, but at this point feels like there's not much communication between the two. It seems very insular individually. Looking at the divine masculine Midas miser archetype in the shadow, hoarding money and emotions, obsessive fear of losing your wealth. And come on, a lot of people are feeling that right now in the world situation. The light attribute, entrepreneurial or creative ability to turn something to gold, the Midas touch, delight in sharing life's riches. Kind of feeling for the majority here, this divine masculine is in the shadow because of what's going on. A lot of divine masculines define themselves by what they do. where divine feminines define themselves by what they feel, and that's not necessarily the most accurate thing either. Emotions flow through us, right? They're not who we are. But with this Five of Cups, I feel like in this contract there was definitely a calling out, that something was revealed, that somebody got called on the carpet, something was revealed, and it caused emotional upset. But with that Ten of Cups, it can be that this divine masculine has had an emotional awakening and kind of has love, a lot of love, perhaps even true love for the divine feminine, if they have already met. If they haven't, which I am feeling is a good portion, a good chunk of the collective here for this divine masculine, that is really feeling that love of self in a way that, has Midas touched himself and is sort of having, like I said, this emotional movement of love of self, but then still finds himself in the Eight of Swords, not knowing what to do, right? To follow the fates, the furies, the gorgons, right? That fate of life, that petrifying. You got to look at the gorgons turning men to stone with one glance. We all know what Medusa does. Medusa do and Medusa don't. Or does he turn his eyes to the bright, shining truth of Apollo? So we're really looking at fear over illusion here. He's going to have to face it and make that choice. And what is the voice of the higher self here? You are limitless. Recognize this truth. You can do anything you choose to do, but as indicated in that Eight of Swords, there is a choice. And for the mantra, rewriting the subconscious, the more I embrace feeling good, the less often I will feel bad. I would say really that the counsel there is for both of them to help each other heal individually and collectively through the quantum entanglement of a soulmate contract, to really embrace feeling good wherever you can, that your happiness, your well-being is a blessing upon all of life. So embrace it. Sometimes we feel guilty feeling good when we see so many people suffering in the world, but understand that is blessing the entire quantum field of all of life. The more you embrace feeling good, the less often you will feel bad, and will also be a blessing upon all of life, not just in this soulmate contract, but that too. Seems a little all over the place, but does make a certain sense. And there are only two major arcana cards here, and they're both on her side, which makes sense for a monk-nun archetype, where he's got a lot of emotions going on here, but he's limitless. He'll be able to handle that Eight of Swords if he really goes with his soul. And during these times, I think we're all looking at what's really important to us on a soul level, not an ego level. Maybe. So, may the Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed with all that they need in their soulmate contracts to May, June 2020 to heal, to grow, to learn, to become, to discover this new love, to rewrite the subconscious, to discover their limitless, to choose love, to have things revealed in the proper time, to experience love of self, love of God, love of Goddess, and love of the world for their well-being and for the well-being of all. So mote it be. And so it is. Thank you, my Libras, for watching. Again, please do like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and comment in the comment section below. Otherwise, wishing you the very best and the very blessed in your soulmate contracts for May, June 2020. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.